All right, there we go. I think we got the.
Yeah, we're good.
We got the audio now. All right, so we have Daniel Mohorski versus Patrick Williams. They are on all sorts of company antics.
Coco.
Bant versus Four Color. All the
Which
Cocos.
Daniel will say that it's banned.
But it's actually
with a very tiny splash. But
yeah, he says it's banned. It's actually Four Color for mainly Kessig Wolf Run. So we're going to go ahead let them know that they can go ahead and start. And we're off to the races. So
drops the stomping grounds.
Stomping grounds, probably a bird, because he always has the bird. I played maybe like 10 games with him when I was playing.
Love it.
10 games against him, and every single game he had the bird.
The bird is the word.
He also had the hierarch, but he would always just play the bird. And Pat,
bird over hierarch? Well, I don't know about that.
Yeah, every time. Probably just to troll me. So Windswept Heath into Temple Garden, probably into a bird.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
it's
Battling
a bird
birds.
off.
Okay, so.
You know, if you watch, there's some pretty sweet nature documentaries of real birds of paradise in the wild, and they have some pretty ridiculous mating rituals. You put two birds.
Do they fight each other?
Oh no, they go crazy. If anybody listening to this, go on YouTube, look up Birds of Paradise documentary, Birds of Paradise mating ritual. You will not be disappointed. It's silly.
Right.
It's fun. We put a bunch of birds in the same room. Some wonky stuff happens.
All right, so we have a fetch from Pat Williams, bringing him down to 14 after Daniel leads off with an Abzan's Pilgrim, and I think Abzan's Pilgrim may be a budget thing over the Noble Hierarch.
Oh, yeah.
With another bird.
Man, there's so many dorks on the battlefield, it's starting to look like a convention.
Yeah, comic book convention here. So 2 mana, here comes a Nanofenza, into another bird, I bet. I guarantee. Oh, look at that.
Oh, man, beautiful board. Mid-range mirror. There we go.
Yeah, it's
I
definitely.
have a hard time reading the chat there.
All right, well, let's see if we can fix that for us, maybe. There we go. So if you guys want to chat with us here on Twitch, that's the best way to chat with us. We don't have really control of the Facebook or the YouTube chats at the moment. We'll figure out how to do that eventually. That way we can kind of get all 3 chats going at the same time.
Yeah. Bit of a learning process for us here still.
Yep.
But.
So, it said, like, so Twitch allows you to pop out the stream. What if I want to pop out the chat? Like, you know, like, make it its own box? Maybe there's a way and we just...
I think you just have to... Oh, you might be able to.
Ooh.
Oh, there you go.
Is this pop out chat? I think we just figured.
Oh, man. Pop out chat. Here we go.
All right. So.
All right, and we are just...
they're just dorking it up.
Flooding the board with dorks, although Nanofenza
is making it
gonna
less
make
dorkish.
Patrick's dorks a little beefy. They're going to go to the gym. They're going to work out a little bit.
Yeah,
they're going to come
they
back
work
and
out.
beat up the other dorks.
So, Daniel may actually have a Spell Queller in his hand to kind of stop what's about to happen.
Oh, man.
So, if that happens, then that would be kind of insane. Oh, there's a Kitchen Finks. Look.
Oh, boy. Oh, there's the Spell
Queller. Man.
Man, what a matchup we have here for you folks.
So, there's where the white comes in for Daniel Mohorski over the...
You mean the blue?
The blue, excuse me. Yeah, the blue over the black, particularly in this matchup. So it's kind of interesting because it does change basically, you know, a lot of the different things that you can do.
Looks like Patrick's gone down to 11 life here.
Okay, it looks like I just missed a shock.
Yeah, and Daniel's down to 17.
Okay. We'll update our life totals real quick and let's get back to the action. Here comes
scavenging use? Oh, no.
Here comes a collecting company. Maybe he'll find another Spell Queller. Okay, so I missed the swing from the Spell Queller is what happened.
Oh.
Alright, so here Daniel's going to look at 6. There's a Voice of Resurgence. And there's his Kessig. And there's a Tireless Tracker. Tireless Tracker can actually get quite big on this board. Just because of the double fetches and everything else. So
Okay, so we got Patrick threw down Finks.
I think so. We're gonna cord for another creature.
And Daniel's not going to respond, I guess.
So he's gonna cord for one.
Gonna...
So he's probably gonna go try to get a Viscera here, and actually that's just infinite life. He's gonna pass. Okay. Yep.
All right. Well.
So if Daniel didn't have the path in hand, that was just basically game.
Right. Takes the Viscera here. Is he going to fetch a land? Doesn't look like it.
He may just forego it.
Yeah.
So I mean, pretty interesting stuff. Thank you, Brickhouse Games, for hosting us, and all the viewers that you brought for us. Thank you so much for joining us here today. We're in Morgantown, West Virginia, at the Morgantown Mall. So thank you all again for tuning in for us. We play Modern just about every single week here on our streams. And yeah, so if you guys want to watch some Modern, we have probably the craziest meta here that I've ever seen. It's kind of like going... It's kind of like going to an open.
Yeah.
In all honesty, it's like going to an open. You go to an open, you see 30 different decks, from 30 different people. We have 26 people here tonight.
Yeah.
And you'll have probably just about 26 different decks.
Yeah, I don't think any two people were on the same deck list. They, Tron's on the rise a little bit, but all the Tron decks are different.
Yep.
Variations.
And then, so the closest thing that we probably have to probably the more than one of the same is probably the company decks.
Probably, yeah.
We may have one or two Abzan companies. So Daniel makes 2 clues, cracks a clue, has that really shiny sleeve that he's using at his clue token, draws a card off of it, and then looks like he drew another company, I think.
Couldn't get a good look at it.
He's flashing it pretty quickly, so I'm not exactly sure. If anybody has any questions about anything about our store or any things that we do here at Morgantown, West Virginia, just feel free to ask, and we will try our best to let you know exactly how we do things here and the type of products that we're trying to give to you guys. So here comes an attack from Daniel. And he's swinging lots of stuff. He's going to try to pump up his tireless tracker. So before damage, draw another card.
Looks like you do birds.
Birds.
Still can't catch what that other one is. Oh,
it was.
I think it is collected company. Yeah.
Yep. He's going to, or he may not. So he's going to just crack another clue.
Crack the other clue. I mean, he could.
What was the second mana that he used for that?
I think he used the birds.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, he could crack his fetch land, get another clue, and pump it even more. But
so that's going to bring Patrick down to 3. So 4 mana. Murderous Redcap. This is infinite damage. So we're going to crack. Go down to 14. And he has to hit the Spell Queller here, or this is game.
Yeah.
So, Pat's actually playing the Redcap version. A lot of the company decks don't really play Redcap anymore because it can't be hit by company.
Right.
So,
but, infinite damage is pretty cool, too.
Yeah. A lot of times, infinite life is just the way to win.
Right.
But sometimes, you can't get there.
You know who doesn't lose to infinite life? Somebody running an infinite murderous death cap combo.
Yeah. And there does not appear to be a Spell Queller in that.
He's looking.
He is.
Well,
I think there was a Manus Rider.
Something up his sleeve.
Oh, and a Knight. So. Alright, so I'm going to sacrifice my Viscera here. Or sacrifice my Redcap. It's going to come back. I'm going to put a 1-1 counter on it. And then I'm just going to do...
Yeah, and Daniel scoops it up.
All right. Infinite damage.
Man, Patrick on the ropes for a while there and then just pulls out
the win.
Pulls out the wombo.
Yeah, so pretty interesting stuff there. Patrick takes the lead here, 1-0, in our best of 3. We're in round 2 here, 4 of our modern F&M here at Four Horsemen Comics and Gaming in the Morgantown Mall. One of 3 great locations that we have in the north central area of West Virginia and southwestern portion of Pennsylvania.
Yep.
We have
the border just about.
Yep, Waynesburg is our location in Pennsylvania. We have a location at Waynesburg, Pennsylvania. There we go. That is located right across the street from the courthouse downtown on the main street. And then our Meadowbrook Mall location in Clarksburg or Bridgeport, whatever you want to call it. It's basically the same spot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't exactly know where the mall falls as far as territory lines are considered for the
I
cities.
have not had the opportunity to go out that way myself, so I have no
It's about an hour south. So this weekend we have our modern states. We're going to flash that slide real quick as our players are sideboarding for Game 2. So this Sunday here at Four Horsemen Comics and Gaming, we're having a modern TCG player states with $25 entry. Doors open at 11 a.m. Players meeting begins at noon. That's noon sharp because I am running that event as the head judge. So, if you guys think that you'll be the next state champion here for West Virginia, come on out. Even if you live in the local tri-state area of Ohio or Maryland even, and Pennsylvania, try to come to us if your state is a little bit too far to visit us or to visit your actual state. Come here, play. We'd love to have you here and play some more modern, so get some more people.
Yeah,
come experience the Four Horsemen experience that we have here. So it looks like we got Pat just he finished sideboarding. He's just pile shuffling. Daniel's trying to decide exactly what he wants to bring in. Looks like some meddling mages, and I'm not exactly sure what else he has, but meddling mages is pretty sweet.
Yeah, I mean,
he chord for it.
Disrupt whatever piece of combo he wants. So.
Exactly. He names the piece of combo, and that piece can't be played. Can't be cast, excuse me. So, kind of cool. Outside of this, I don't really know what comes in for the sideboards out of these 2 decks. Daniel may have some sort of dispels or negates because he's on blue. The Abzan version may be bringing in Thought Seizes or Inquisitions to try to disrupt the counter magic, so I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah, I don't know what either of them have in their sideboards, really, so...
Yeah. I'm not too familiar on exactly how you would sideboard for this particular matchup, just because of how kind of crazy it is when it comes to both of these matches. So, looks like Pat has all of the dorks in his hand, and looks like he's probably keeping. That's a Reflector Mage in Daniel Borowski's hand. So, he looks like he's ready to keep. He's going to win foothills. No bird for Daniel on turn 1. There's a fetch, probably going down to 17. Going to play bird or Hierarch, one of the two. So, Pat's been playing this deck kind of frequently. He's been borrowing Ryan O'Loughlin's, another commentator and another judge here at Four Horsemen Comics and Gaming's deck. The deck is completely Japanese.
Yeah.
So,
thanks, Ryan.
If you don't speak Japanese, hopefully you know what the pictures do. That's kind of the great thing about Magic, I guess.
Yeah. My first experience with Modern myself happened
Were you borrowing a
when
Ryan
I was
deck?
at the helm of a Ryan O'Loughlin all-Japanese deck, and it was...
It was fun, right?
I think by, Game 2 of Match 3, I, knew everything, so I didn't have to look at my reference sheet anymore. But until I got to that point, it was pretty rough.
So, here comes another shock from Patrick, bringing him down to 14 after a fetch. So I got a feeling this is going to be a Kitchen Finks after the Kosali Pride Mage was played by Daniel. And there's the Kitchen Finks.
Super
Some-
taps that birds. He was
So
really excited to get that
sometimes
out there.
these matches just kind of become autopilot as far as like when you just watch them being played. Less so for the 4-color company deck. The Abzan company deck, you're just like, okay, well, this is happening. Okay, well, this is going to happen. And there's the Reflector Mage. So, I mean, it really just... It's like, this is the same thing over and over and over again. And that's kind of the good thing about the deck, is that it has such good redundancy.
Yeah, you can get into a rhythm and just kind of know
But
that you'll be consistent.
But it's kind of one of the reasons why I don't like playing the deck, because I just... It's also a reason why I don't like playing Jund. Jund is a very strong deck.
Autopilot-y, sort of.
And it just feels so boring. Like, the decks that I typically play are prison-style decks, or lately I've been playing Baral Storm.
Yeah.
And those decks, the Baral Storm can be kind of autopilot-y after you reach a certain point.
Yeah, but you got to get there.
But you have to get there. And cantripping, knowing what cantrip and when to cast a certain cantrip is pretty important as far as, you know, like, hey, how do I get to point A to point B? Or, you know, how do I even do C, D, or E? Jund is very, okay, well, I played this. Okay, then I play this. Right. Okay, then I cast this.
And here's Liliana. And here's
so it just, like, okay, Inquisitioned you. Okay, then I thought seized you. And then, oh, look, you don't have anything, so now I'm here. So, for me, it's just, ugh.
So Daniel hits use. Looks like he's got a couple choices.
I think he may go with the Selfless Spirit, not knowing that Pat has the Maelstrom Pulse in his hand, but it basically just protects him for another couple turns. So, Pat goes back up to 10. The birds may be just on chump block duty here. And back down to 8. 3 mana. Pulse the Scavenging Ooze. Sack. It says destroy. I wanted to read it. What does it do?
Yeah. Oh, it's in Japanese. Never mind.
Never mind. Again, Ryan O'Loughlin strikes again with his Japanese everything. So there's quite a bit of damage on the board right now. There is 2, 4, 6, 7 possible.
Yeah.
Pat's not dead. So, I mean, I guess that's good for him. He does have 2 Chord of Callings in his hand. So, there's a possibility that he could just end up winning here very, very soon.
I think he would need at least... How much is Anafenza? 2?
2, and so is Malira.
So he would need... I think he's going to be 1 mana short this next turn.
Even if he draws... So here comes the Scavenging Ooze.
He'll be 2 short if he doesn't draw any. But no matter what, he'll still be 1 short.
Yep, so he's going to take 3.
Or wait.
Maybe 4.
No, actually, I think he could do it if he draws land, because once he...
Yeah, he'll play the first one.
Once he tutors out the other one, he can convoke with that creature. So he could do it if he draws a land here.
Yeah. So,
assuming that Daniel's not sitting on a Spell Queller.
Or another collecting company that hits a Spell Queller.
Right.
So...
Well, it looks like he's going to tap down.
And here comes another Selfless
Spirit.
Spirit.
And play Selfless Spirit.
So, Pat's on the I draw a land, I win.
Right. Did he do it? Doesn't
look like it. That he drew the Malira. Well, so
there you go. That does it.
I'm just going to do it. Chord for 1.
And I think Daniel's gonna scoop here.
He may not. He may just be like, okay, show me what you got. Now, I don't know if Daniel has the infinite life combo in his deck. Because he doesn't have...
I haven't seen anything that looks like it.
So he doesn't have a sack outlet. So it makes me kind of wonder, like, well, then what are you playing? Like, what are you doing with the company? All right. So here comes a red. Okay, so he's just going to eat. He's going to eat away the Quarter Colin. So
Well, I'm surprised that Patrick's just not going.
So
infinite
Pat's not going infinite yet.
right
I think
now.
he's just baiting. Well, because there's a scavenging using,
He's
right?
just gonna slow roll. Oh yeah, that's true.
So that does slow it down, a little bit.
Because he can grab kitchen finks from the graveyard before it reanimates, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
So that's probably why he didn't do it. So this match actually isn't over yet.
Good old scavenging ooze.
Yeah, so when they reprinted it in M14 or 15, I don't remember which one it
I
was.
don't remember either off the top.
I want to say it was M14. It was... People loved it just because of the simple fact that it was a kind of a cool thing to have for the fact that you could have it for Modern, finally.
Right.
Because before it was just a Commander-only card.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
So we're going to path the Scavenging Goose, and I think that does it.
Man. Patrick at 1.
Path off the top.
Oh boy.
Yep.
That I mean,
I don't know what
do
Daniel's
it.
last card is, but
I don't know if he has anything that can respond to the combo.
so he's going to cord again.
You
So I think he's going to
for
go.
Death Cap.
So he's cording for 2, so I think he's going to go get the Anafenza.
Oh, well, that's a little redundant.
So what this allows him to do, it's infinite life,
I
but
guess he can
infinite
just-
1/1 counters.
Yeah, that's true. Pump up the birds.
Yeah, so basically, like, he has access to both. So this allows technically infinite life and infinite damage for both of them. And Patrick's holding it way up, so maybe he's going to ask... Oh, Safi. Okay, so now he's just being overly redundant. This, in fact, is infinite. So this is infinite scries,
Yeah.
but he already had infinite scries because he has Anfenza.
Right.
Or he has Malira.
And what is the text on Safi again?
Safi says when this creature would die, target creature says when it'll leave the battlefield, it comes back automatically.
Right. Okay.
So it's another way to get around if the Malira dies.
Mm-hmm.
So just in case that last card in Daniel's hand is a path for the Malira.
Well, it looks like he's.
So
Does he have something?
no, the last thing in his hand is a. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, all right.
So there's the infinite life.
Just doing the pump fake.
Yeah, the last card in Daniel's hand was a Hollow Fountain. So that match finished a little quickly.